Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you the objective, as I told you in the previous class that I am going to teach you about the objective questions, objective type questions. And in the previous video I already told you about the surveying. I think I told you what is surveying, what are the types of surveying, what are the principles of surveying, and what are the different methods used in surveying, and what are the instruments being used in chain surveying. All these aspects overall I have covered. And before I start these particular objective questions in the surveying, I should say in the previous video I have told you much about the compass surveying, chain surveying. Today I would like to give you a brief introduction about the compass surveying also. After that I am going to start the objective questions. The compass surveying is again in the chain surveying only the distance measurements are being made. The horizontal distance or the uneven distances can be measured by the different methods But this surveying, the horizontal measurement and the distance measurement is restricted, understand or not. But when the direction, see, when it is important to know the direction of the line, then it makes us to go for the compass surveying also, understand or not. The compass surveying is that surveying where the distance and the direction, measurements are directly carried out. The distance as well as the direction of the line. I repeat once again, the distance of the line, that is the distance of the line AB or BC or CD or whatever that particular distance, and the direction of the line, the direction of AB, direction of BC, CD, whatever that direction. So here the distance is being measured by making use of the tape, but the direction is being measured by making use of the compass, understand or not. So the advantage of using the compass surveying is both the distance as well as the direction measurements are being measured by making use of the compass, any one of the compass. There are two types of the compass. One is known as the prismatic compass, second is known as the surveyor's compass, understand or not. And then if you go still further, the prismatic compass is that compass where the graduations are there in whole circle bearing system, correct or not. In the surveyor's compass, the graduations, the readings, whatever that, the graduations are in the quadrantal bearing system, understand or not. Now, before just to know something about this particular compass surveying, you should know the angle, again the meridian. These are some of the definitions you should know if you want to know something about the compass surveying. The angle is nothing but the intersecting, correct or not. The angle is nothing but the angle is that which is the angle between the intersecting line, understand or not, alpha, beta, gamma or whatever that. And the direction of the line AB, just now I told the direction of the line AB can be measured by making use of the compass, any one of the compass. It may be surveyor's compass or it may be a prismatic compass, but that direction is always measured with reference to or with respect to a meridian, understand or not. Then if you ask me what is meridian, meridian is a fixed direction, fixed reference direction, understand or not, fixed reference direction with respect to that the different angles are being measured, understand or not. So to go still further, I just now told you there is one instrument called as the compass surveying and second instrument called as the surveyor's compass. The two type of the compasses are mainly used. One is known as prismatic compass, second is known as a surveyor's compass. The prismatic compass is the compass where graduations are in whole circle bearing system. The graduations are in the whole circle bearing system. That is, if I say the whole circle bearing system, naturally from 0 to 360 degree can be measured. The graduations from 0 to 360 is being measured. So then again, if you ask me once again, for a particular direction of the line AB is about 45 degree or 50 degree with reference to what? With reference to the magnetic north. Just now I told you, meridian, magnetic. That magnetic north is the reference line or a meridian. So with reference to that, the different angles in the whole circle bearing system are measured. For example, the direction of the line AB or the bearing of the line AB. Now I am using the word the bearing. The bearing of the line or the direction of the line of the AB is how much? The direction of the line is about 60 degree with respect to the magnetic north. As far as the whole circle bearing system is concerned, that is to be read in the prismatic compass. Understand or not? Now always the measurement should be always in the clockwise direction only. It is always in the clockwise direction. As far as the prismatic compass is concerned or the whole circle bearing system is concerned, that all these readings are to be read in the clockwise direction only. Understand or not? Then coming back to the second compass which I am telling you, that is called as the surveyor's compass. The surveyor's compass is where the graduations are there in the quadrantal bearing system. The quadrantal bearing system, understand or not? You know that first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant bearing. Again here the readings are again there I told you in the previous case it is from 0 to 360, understand or not? It is not like that in the case of the second case, the surveyor's compass. The graduations will be from 0 to 90, again from 0 to 90. In each and every quadrant there will be a 0 to 90, understand? First quadrant 0 to 90, second quadrant 0 to 90 and 0 to 90, whatever that, all these quadrants. For example, here the measurement may be in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction, very simple case. For example, what is important here is a line in which the measurement is to be made should be always taken into care in which quadrant that particular line is the line is lying, understand or not? Whether it is lying in the first quadrant and second quadrant or third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Here the measurements are done, the direction of the line, the bearing of the line can be read both clockwise anti-clockwise direction with respect to the north or the south direction, whichever is nearer. If the line AB is near to the north, which is lying in the first quadrant, if I say, then here the measurement will be with respect to the north. If you go to the second quadrant, here if I say second quadrant, here if the line BC is being read, BC or CD or whatever that, then that line is lying in the second quadrant where the magnetic south is a reference point, something, whatever that reading, that will be with respect to the magnetic south. There it was magnetic north, now it is, that is why the line in which it is lying is very important as far as the surveyor's compass is concerned. That is why the readings are, the graduations are in the quadrantal bearing system. Okay. These are the two type of the compass being used. So, because why I am telling all these things, in surveying, whatever the questions, these particular objective type questions are always tagged with these particular topics, understand or not? That is why before I start the objective type questions, the viewers, the students should know what is compass surveying and what are the different types of compass, and in different particular compass what type of graduations are there and how the readings are being read, understand or not. After telling you the bearing of the line, again say the bearing is a direction with reference to the respective meridian, understand. Now there are two types of bearings, one is known as the fore bearing, second is known as the back bearing. So if you ask me what is the fore bearing of the line AB, if the measurement is being done from A towards B, if I take the line AB, if the measurement is being done if in the prismatic compass or whole circle bearing system, if I say, then if the measurement is from A towards B, then the bearing of the line AB is in fore bearing of the line. It is called as the fore bearing of the line. The fore bearing of the line AB is 30 degree, means the reading is being read from A towards B, understand or not? Means what is the meaning of A to B? Your compass will be at point A and the ranging rod will be at B, and you are reading the line AB, and that is going to be the direction or the bearing of that particular line with reference to the magnetic north in a whole circle bearing system, and that is what exactly the measurement. What exactly the measurement. So my boys, again coming back to these particular compass, again the fore bearing, I just now told the fore bearing, and there is also a back bearing. That take the same line AB, if the back bearing of the line of AB, is very careful, back bearing of the line AB is 60 degree, or if I say 30, no, that is the fore bearing of the line AB is 30, add 180 to that, so it will become 210, understand or not? So the back bearing of the line AB is 210, where the measurement will be from B towards A. It is from B towards A, meaning what is that? The compass will be at B and the ranging rod will be at A. It is exactly reverse of the previous one. That particular bearing of the line AB, the back bearing of the line AB is that bearing which is read from, not from A towards B, it will be from B towards A. That is a back bearing, understand or not? And there is a simple empirical formula is being used, the back bearing equal to, the simple empirical formula you should know, the back bearing equal to the plus or minus the plus or minus 180 degree, understand or not? The back bearing equal to the back bearing equal to plus or minus this four bearing back bearing. So understand or not? If you want to find out the back bearing of the particular line, it will be the 4 bearing whatever that 4 bearing plus or minus 180 degree, understand or not? So just now I told you how exactly. Take example of any particular line. The line I told you the bearing of the line AB is 30 degree. Got it or not? The bearing of the line AB is 30 degree. I want to know what could be the back bearing of the line AB. Now I am using the formula, the back bearing of the line AB is equal to the 4 bearing plus or minus 180 degree. What is the 4 bearing? Just now I told the 4 bearing of the line AB is 30 degree plus or minus 180 degree. Very simple thing. Y plus Y minus, understand or not? Use plus sign if the 4 bearing is less than 180 degree, and use minus sign if the 4 bearing is more than 180 degree. I repeat once again, the back bearing equal to 4 bearing plus or minus 180 degree, then use that plus sign if the 4 bearing is less than 180 degree, and use minus sign if the 4 bearing is more than 180 degree. Example I told you, just now I told you the line AB is equal to 30 degree, then what should be the back bearing of the line AB? Now I am reading it is 4 bearing plus 180 degree, because the 30 degree is less than 180 degree. Therefore, 4 bearing plus 180 degree, it will be 180 plus 30, it will be 210 degree. Therefore, the 4 bearing of the line AB is 30 degree and the back bearing of the line AB is 210 degree. Understand or not? I will give another example, why plus and minus. For example, the 4 bearing of the line, example, 4 bearing of the line CD, example, the 4 bearing of the line CD is 250 degree. For example, I am telling you the 4 bearing of the line is 250 degree. Then for the same 4 bearing of the line CD, then what could be the back bearing? The same line. Then now the back bearing of the line CD equal to 4 bearing plus or minus 180 degree. Now the 4 bearing will be how much? 250 degree. Then now you have to use the minus sign, because the 4 bearing is more than 180 degree. Now it is 4 back bearing of the line CD equal to the 4 bearing minus 180 degree. What is the 4 bearing? It is 250, and then minus 180 is how much? 180, 250 minus 180 is how much? It is 250 minus 180 is, it is 70 degree, correct or not? It is 70 degree. Therefore, the back bearing of the line CD will be 70 degree, understand or not? Now I have deducted the 180 degree, because the 4 bearing will be more than 180. This way the conversion, correct or not? The 4 bearing and the back bearing are being calculated, understand or not? 4 bearing and the back bearing. So in the coming classes, in the coming objective type question, these particular questions will be there. What is 4 bearing? What is back bearing? The 4 bearing is being read from A towards B, and the back bearing is read from B towards A. All these particular things. Again, this also the questions also be there. In the prismatic compass, the graduations are there in the whole circle bearing system. In the surveyor's compass, the graduations are in the quadrantal bearing system. These are the questions. That's why, as the questions are going to come in the different manner, I am just introducing the subject called as a compass surveying. Then coming back to the things, here the conversion, understand or not? It is also by things. Here the 4 bearing readings, that is the whole circle bearing system readings, can also be converted to quadrantal bearing system, and in the same way the quadrantal bearing system readings are also be converted to the whole circle bearing, that is WCB converted to QB, and QB can be converted into this one. This was simple empirical formulas, as I told you. It is one of the conversion things, where the back bearing equal to 4 bearing minus plus or minus 180 degree. Other way, in this way the conversion can also be made, understood now. Then in the compass surveying, as I told, I will come back to the topic now. The compass surveying, you use any type of the compass, it may be prismatic compass or the surveyor's compass. Here the distance can be the distance of line AB, BC, CD, whatever that particular distance can be accurately measured by making use of the tape, and at the same time the bearing of the respective line. I repeat now, the bearing of the respective line, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H is a closed traverse. Then the bearing of line AB, the fore bearing of line AB, back bearing of the line AB, fore bearing of the line AB, fore bearing of the line BC, then back bearing of the line BC, the fore bearing of the line CD, back bearing of the line CD, the fore bearing of the line DC, the DE, the back bearing of the line, all these particular things, the respective bearings in terms of fore bearing and the back bearing of the respective line can also be calculated in the closed traverse is concerned. Sorry, coming back to the things, these are the simple topics, simple introduction about the compass surveying. So again, when these particular questions, objective type questions comes in the surveying, I am going to elaborately tell why this particular answer is the correct answer for the question. Okay, and I will briefly introduce about the next topic, plane table surveying. The plane table surveying is again the table. The plane table surveying is that particular surveying where the plotting of the work can be done at the same time. The distance, the measurement of the distance of line A, B, C, D, E, F. Why only A, B, C, D? I say P, Q, R, S, T, U. Understand? The line P, Q, then Q, B, C, whatever that. All these particular the distances of the respective survey lines can be measured, or instead of measured and plotted. I am understand. The measurement and also the plotting work are done simultaneously. I repeat once again, the measurement of the distances of the closed traverse or any particular object around that can be done. Measurement of the distance and also the plotting of the distance with a particular scale can be done. Measurement of the distance and also plotting of that particular distance can be done simultaneously in the case of the plane table surveying. Understand or not? Again, as the plane table surveying, what are the instruments used in the plane table surveying? Plane table is there, a lydate is there, then plumb bob is there, then all these particular instruments are also being used in the plane table surveying. Now, coming to again, there are as the methods of plane table surveying is also there. Understand or not? The methods of plane table surveying is then again there are the method intersection method, resection method. Again, there are different methods are also being used by which the different distance and also the plotting work can all be. Again, there are other particular things which you are going to get in the coming objective type questions. That is called as what exactly? That is called as 2-point problem and 3-point problem. Understand or not? Again, 3-point problem by Bessel's method. So these are all the methods being used in plane table surveying. It is also the 2-point problem, Bessel's method, 3-point problem. All they are the methods, and they are one of the methods in plane table surveying where the plotting and also the measurement of the distance can all be done simultaneously. So this plane table surveying is also one of the method. Then coming back to the brief introduction, this is all what I am telling you, a brief introduction. And coming back to the leveling, understand or not? As in surveying, I think I told you, surveying is what exactly? Surveying is an art of determining the point on the surface of the, below the surface of the earth and above the surface of the earth by the measurement of the distance, direction and the again distance, direction and also elevation. Understand or not? The elevation, distance, direction also and the elevation of the points by direct or indirect measurements. Understand or not? Now coming back to that vertical elevation, I don't know, the elevation of the point above the surface, below the surface of the ground. Very careful. This vertical distance, elevation, which we call it elevation, this elevation above the surface of the ground and below the surface of the ground, this vertical distance can also be measured by making use of a leveling. Understand or not? Leveling is also a branch of surveying where the elevation of those particular points by making use of the compass, by making use of the levels. Dumpy level is very commonly used level where the elevation can also be elevation of the point can also be measured. Understand or not? So this is what exactly. Again, coming back to the things there are different methods of leveling. again there is a profile leveling, cross sectioning, all these particular things, reciprocal leveling, all are there, understand or not. They are the different methods being used in leveling to find the elevation or the vertical distance of those particular points lying above the surface of the ground or also below the surface of the ground. When the this, again I am just introducing the subject called as a leveling also, understand. So, there again the methods are there, and again those by using the dumpy level, there the elevation of that particular point, can also be measured, understand or not. So, again why I am telling all these topics, in the last video I told you about the chain surveying, much about that. Then again now in the today's, before starting the objective type questions, I have given you brief introduction about compass surveying, brief introduction about the plane table surveying, and also brief introduction about the level surveying or leveling. So, with this introduction of the surveying, I am going to start the objective type questions. Okay, my boys, again I am starting with the things. Now the first question in the surveying, objective type, how the questions are going to come and how you should answer, how you should take the right answer. Coming back to the question first, first one, which of the following scales is largest? The first question in the surveying, which of the following scales is largest? So, again there are 4 options are there, my boys. So, like here the first option is A, 1 centimeter equal to 50 meter, then 1 is to 42,000, then RF equal to 1 by 30,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 lakh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 upon 3 lakhs, and the last answer 1 centimeter equal to 50 kilometer. Which scale which is been mentioned among the 4 is the largest scale? If you ask me, there are 4 options are there. Then if you look into the 4 answers, my boys, here the answer number 1, A answer is the right answer. Here 1 centimeter equal to 50 meter. So, your scale, your 1 centimeter, if you mark on the drawing sheet or whatever that, your 1 centimeter will be indicating 50 meter, understand or not? 1 centimeter indicates 50 meter, 2 centimeter indicate 100 meter. Therefore, the largest scale in this particular options is 1 centimeter equal to 50 meter, 1 centimeter equal to 50 meter. Answer number 1 or the option number 1, that is A, is the right answer. Among other are the smaller, understand or not? The 1 centimeter equal to 50 meter is the largest scale mentioned among the 4, understand or not? So, this is what. Now, let us move to the second question, my boys. Second question, now again, if the probable error, see, if the probable error in a single observation is 0.04 meter and that mean is 0.01 meter, try to understand the question first. Okay, you forget about the answer, but try to understand the question first. If the probable error in a single observation is 0.04 meter and that mean, see, that mean of the mean is 0.01 meter, then the number of observations, then he is asking how many number of observations are being done, how many, what would be the number of observation. Look here, things, options are 4, one is A is 4, B is 10 and the C is 16 and D is 64. My boys, the right answer is 16, the right answer is 16, that is C, answer C is the right answer. See, look at the things, that question and try to answer the right answer. So, that is one. If for this particular question, the right answer is 16, the answer number C, that is C, which 16 is the right answer for that particular question. If the error is, single observation error is 0.04 and the mean is 0.01 and the number of observation will be 16. Okay, let us go to the next question. Theory of probability. Okay, there is also a theory of probability is applied. Theory of, I think as mathematics you have studied, I think probability, diploma people also studied the theory of probability in mathematics, I do not know, but anyhow try to understand. Theory of probability is applied. This theory, this particular probability theory is applied. Where you are going to apply? Again, theory of probability is applied. Again, 4 options are there. Again, accidental errors only. Second one, cumulative errors only. And third one, third answer, both accidental and cumulative error only. And the last answer is none of the above. Understand or not? My boys, here the right answer is accidental errors. Accidental errors. Probability is that particular theory where these particular error, the theory of probability is always applied to the accidental errors, is always applied to the accidental errors. Why the question is accidental errors? If you ask me, the cumulative error is always accumulating, understand or not? The first observation, the error is 4 centimeter. In the second observation, the error is how much? It is 9 centimeter. Then what is the cumulative error at the second point? If you ask me, it will be 9 plus 4, it will be 9 plus 4, it is 13. In the third observation, if the error is 1 centimeter, therefore 9 plus 4 plus 1, it will be 9 plus 4 is 13 plus 1, cumulative. The cumulative is keep on adding to the things, but the theory of error will never give you, never applied to the cumulative errors or cumulative errors, but it will be only applied to the accidental errors only. I repeat one question, the theory of probability is applied to accidental errors only, accidental errors only. Okay, let us go to the next one. Next question. A survey is conducted, look, try to understand the question. A survey is conducted with a view to prepare a map of an area, scale of 1:1000. If a scale with a least count of 0.1 mm is used for plotting, what would be the accuracy in length measured in the field? Understand or not? Try to understand the question once again. I repeat the question once again, because the question, if you understand properly, then only you can able to answer. Understand? I repeat the question. A survey is conducted with a view to prepare the map of an area. Correct? You have been asked to prepare a map of an area in a scale of 1:1000. It is the scale is given is 1:1000. If the scale with least count of 0.1 mm, least count of 0.1 mm is used, least count of 0.1 mm is used for plotting, what would be the accuracy in length of the measurement in field? What would be the accuracy? There are 4 options are there, Moise. One is, the first option is 0.325 meter, second is 0.01 meter, and the third one is 0.1 meter, and the last one is 1 meter. The right answer is the third one, C, 0.1 meter. So, how you have to judge here? A least count of 0.1 mm, 0.01 mm least count is there, then it is going to give you the accuracy of how much? It is going to give you accuracy of 0.1 meter. Understand or not? The third option, C, is the right answer. Understand or not? Okay, let us go to the next one. Now, the question number 5, whatever that, the difference between the most probable value of a quantity and its observed value is, not like to understand, the difference between the most probable value of a quantity and its observed value, that is probable value and the observed value, the two values are there. So, these value is, understand or not. So, what is that? The difference between the most probable value and of a quantity and is the observed value, correct or not? The probable value, for example, the distance between the two places, example I am telling you, the distance between the two places, two districts, if you take, it is 100 kilometer, understand or not, 100 kilometer is it is exactly a probable value, understand. You take any example I am telling you, I am giving the district example. Actually, in surveying we cannot give the district example, in highways you can give, but now you will test the distance between, I will reduce my answer in this fashion. The distance between the line AB, is 100 centimeter, understand or not, 100 centimeter, the probable, understand. He says the distance must be or mostly or probably the distance AB is 100 centimeter. Then how to say that? Whether the observed one is 100, see if the distance is, he says probably it is probable value is 100 centimeter, then what is observed? What you observed? Observation by using the surveying instrument, understand? You are actually literally measuring the distance of that 100 centimeter. The ranging rod is at A and ranging rod at B, then distance by proper perfect direct ranging you are measuring the distance between A and B. Then if you find, then that distance which I told how much AB equal to, I think I told 100 centimeter, understand? 100 centimeter. Okay. Now, if by measurement also, by measurement of that distance by direct ranging, if you find that distance of 100 centimeter equal to 100 centimeter only, then that error is known as, what is that? That error is asking. I repeat the question, the difference between the most probable value of a quantity and is the observed value is, 4 answers are there. the true error, then weighted observation and conditional error, and the third error is known as a residual error. Understand or not? So, the answer is fourth one, it is a residual error. Understand or not? It is a residual error. Why the word is residual? They are asking. Here, you said 100 centimeter. So, then 100 centimeter plus or minus 1 centimeter, if I say that. So, residual, understand or not? Okay, you may be getting 101 centimeter also, you may be getting 99 centimeter also. So, this type of error where you are getting is known as, in this particular example I am telling you, in this example it is called as a residual error. So, again repeat, the difference between the most probable value of a quantity and is the observed value is, and is observed value is nothing but is a residual error. Okay, the last answer D is the right answer. Coming to the, my boys, coming back to the geodetic surveying is different from plane surveying. So, I think I told you when I was asking about the chain surveying also, there are different types of surveyings are there. A plane surveying is there, geodetic surveying is there, aerial surveying is there. I think I told you, but if I am not told, I am going to tell you. Now, the geodetic survey is different from plane surveying because reckon, what is that? The curvature here, because of the curvature of the earth. Then the second B is the large difference of elevation between the various points. C is the coverage of very large area, and the last is undulation of the topography. Understand or not? So, I again tell you the before telling the answer now. Geodetic surveying is that type of surveying. Now I am doing it. I am giving you the I am defining the geodetic survey in simple before answering that. Geodetic surveying is that type of surveying where geodetic surveying is that type of surveying where the curvature of the earth surface is considered. I repeat now. Now, if you ask me also again, the plane surveying is also a surveying where the curvature of the earth is not considered. Understand or not? In plane surveying not considered. In the geodetic surveying, the curvature of the earth is considered. Now, the answer is the geodetic survey is different from plane surveying because the curvature of the earth, because I just now told the curvature of the earth is considered in geodetic surveying. The answer is the first A1, that is number 1, that is the curvature of the earth. Why it is curvature of the earth? The curvature of the earth surface is considered in geodetic surveying. That is why it is different from plane surveying. Got it or not? Okay, let us go to the next question. Okay. The error due to bad ranging. My boys, I think I told you already. In the direct ranging. In the last video, I told you there are two types of ranging: direct ranging, indirect ranging. Understand or not? Now, I tell you the question is on ranging now. The error due to bad ranging. Understand or not? The error due to bad ranging is, one is a cumulative positive, then second is cumulative negative, and the third is called the compensating, then fourth is cumulative positive or negative. My boys, the answer, you should tell me everything. The cumulative positive, why it is cumulative positive? Just now I give an example of cumulative. See, look here, if you are measuring the distance, AK is the distance. You are measuring 100 meter distance by measurement. So, along the 100 meter distance of AK is the distance between the 2 points whose distance is 100 meter. Now, 100 meter you cannot measure at a stretch, you measure it by strip, understand or not? So, now you are dividing the line. First line is AB, BC, CD, DE, EF, GH, IJ. The last one is MK, example MK, last point. So, these are all are the strips, understand, sections, along which the ranging, the perfect ranging is done and measured, understand or not. Then if in any line, if the bad ranging, for example, if you are not measuring the distance between AB, not perfectly done, then if you are instead of measuring first the distance of AB is about, its example, out of the 100 meter, it is about 15 meter, first strip. Then instead of measuring 15 meter, then due to the bad ranging, then your 15 meter will become 15.5 meter. What is that? It becomes 15.5 meter, correct or not? So, how much you have extra measured? 0.5. Then in the next line, the line of 30 meter is there, then instead of measuring 30 meter, you may be measuring 30.01 meter, understand or not. Now, here the error of 0.5, error of 0.01 is keep on accumulating, understand or not, cumulative, understand, cumulative positive. That is why a error due to the bad ranging is the answer number 1, which is cumulative. Cumulative, it keep on adding from one strip to the another strip. It is in the positive way only, not negative, all keep on adding only. First it will be 0.01, next it will be 0.02, next it will be 0.04, then last point mk, last it will be about 0.06 if I then again from each and every strip 0.01, 0.06, 0.02, whatever that. Finally, it keep on adding, it will become so much, it becomes 0.08, example I am telling you. Therefore, your 100 meter after bad ranging, you will become 100.08 meter, 100.08 meter. Got it my point? That's why it is a cumulative error. It is always cumulative error will be in cumulative direction and also in the positive. Add on positive only. Why positive? Plus. It is always plus only. Understand or not? Why plus? First it is 0.01, next plus 0.06, 0.02, 0.0 whatever plus. Keep on adding cumulative in a cumulative way and it will become a positive. The answer is for the error due to bad ranging is the answer number 1. It is called as a cumulative positive. This is the right answer. Answer number 1 is the right answer. Let us go to the next, boys. Offsets. Okay, I think I already told you about the offsets. Where I told you about the offsets, there are principles of surveying. While telling you about principles of surveying, there are two types of principles, understand or not? Locating the point with reference to the two known objects, two known reference point, number 1. Then second one is then measurement, that is again working from whole to part, understand or not. So, I told you about that offset, correct or not. Offsets are the transverse lines to the main line, main survey line. What is the question now? Let us ask the question. Offsets are option A, short measurement from the chain line, then ties or check lines which are perpendicular to chain line. Third is sets of Menon instruments in chain surveying, and the last is chain lines which go out of the alignment. My boys, what is the right answer? The right answer is A. It is a short measurement from chain line, understand or not? Short measurement is the chain line is AB. Why AB is only coming in my mouth, I do not know. The chain line is PQ, correct or not? Then along the chain line PQ, if you are measuring one perpendicular distance offset, perpendicular offset of PC, example PQ, a PC is the offset, example I am telling you, PC is a short distance. How much? The line PQ is 60 meter, whereas your perpendicular offset of how much? PC, example small PC, perpendicular offset is of 3 meter. The offset is a small distance measured along the main chain line. So, look here, offsets are, again the answer is 1, offsets are a short measurements from the chain line, a short measurements along the chain line. Good, no? Offsets I told you already. So, again I repeat, the offsets are always a short measurements from the chain line, from the main chain line. Let us go to the next question. Which of the following instrument is generally used for baseline measurement? Baseline measurement. My boys, again I tell you, the baseline or a chain line or a tape line, all are the same observation. Baseline is a base chain line, understand or not? For example, SK is the main chain line. I will change the word. Then you should not think, sir is always talking about only A, B, B, C. No, any word, understand or not. The main chain line is SK, understand or not. Then is a baseline also. This SK which I am telling about the main line, which is of 150 meter. The SK chain line is 150 meter. Okay. Then it is also called as, which of the following instrument is used, generally used for baseline measurement, correct or not. Baseline means the main chain line, main baseline, understand. So, again there are 4 options are there, baseline, very try to understand. Which of the following instrument is generally used for baseline measurement? The one is the chain, second is the metallic tape, third is known as the steel tape, fourth is known as the invert tape. I have told you all these type of the chains in the first video. I told you already. Tell me boys, which is the correct answer? Understand now? Following instrument is generally used for the baseline measurement. My boys, the right answer is the tape, invert tape. Understand or not? Invert tape. Why? Because the baseline, whatever that chain line or main line or the baseline should be perfectly measured. It may be PB or SK or TB or whatever that. That measurement is always done by making use of the instrument. Which instrument? Instrument used in the chain surveying. So, that particular instrument is known as the invert tape. Understand or not? It is the Lennon tape. The invert tape is nothing but a Lennon tape. That Lennon tape is that instrument used to measure the baseline. Used to measure the baseline in the survey line. Okay. Next, invert tape is a instrument being generally used for baseline measurement. Coming next. An invert tape, once again the same question has come from that question. An invert tape is made up of an alloy of, understand or not? An invert tape is made up of an alloy of, understand or not? An invert tape is made up an alloy of, 4 answers are there, copper and steel, second is brass and nickel, third is brass and steel, and the fourth one is nickel and steel. Invert tape, if you look at the things, these all Masons are making use of these invert tape, must have seen, I don't know you have seen or not. So, invert tape is made up of an alloy. Which alloy? The invert tape is made up of which type of alloy? The question is that. Then again 4 options are there. It is copper and steel, brass and nickel, and third is brass and steel, and the last one is nickel and steel. My boys, the right answer is the last one. It is the nickel and steel. Nickel and the steel are the two alloys. By making use of this thing, invert tape is being prepared. Therefore, invert tape is made up of an alloy of nickel and steel. That is the 4th answer. Okay. Next, go to the next. Number of links in 30-meter metric chain. I think all diploma holders, you already use the chains, because chain surveying you already used it, understand or not? Again, the number of links, understand or not? Number of links in a 30-meter chain, understand or not? How many links? How many links will be there? I think link you have seen, no? That particular collar type link will be there. How many number of links are used? How many links are being added to the chain of 30 meter? That's the question. Number of links in a 30 meter metric chain is how many? 100 links are there, 150 links are there, 180 links are there, and 200 links are there. Which is the right answer? Diploma holders, you should tell. Okay. The right answer according to me is 150 links. Therefore, the answer, there are about 150 links. 150 links are there in a 30 meter metric chain. There are 150 links are there in a 30 meter metric chain. So, question, I will add the question to the answer. There are 150 number of links are used in 30 meter metric chain. The right answer is C, C not C, it is B, 150 meter. Coming to the next. Coming to the next. Ranging is the process of, now I already told you, defined view surveying, defined view ranging, and then what is ranging also told, what is indirect ranging also told in the first video. So, what is the question? Let's go to the ranging is the process of, 4 answers are there, my point. Ranging is the process of, 4 answers are there. One is fixing ranging rods on the extremities of the area. Then second is aligning the chain in a straight line between the 2 extremities. Then taking offsets from the chain line, and the fourth is chaining over a range of a mountain. So, look here around the 4-1, which is the right answer, my boys? The answer number A is the right answer. See, fixing the ranging rods on a extremities of the area. On extreme, what is extremities? 2 extremities. One extremity is A, another extremity is B. Why A and B? I say it is L and M. L is one extremity and M is another extremity. So, these L and M are the 2 ranging rods which are being placed on a particular area, and they are the points where the process of ranging is being carried out. The ranging is a process of, with answer, ranging is a process of fixing ranging rods on the extremities of the area, correct no? The answer is first one, A, ranging is a process of, answer number 1, fixing ranging rods on the extremities of the area. on the 2 points of the area, the extreme point of the area. Right answer is the A. Understand now. Coming back to the next, the principles of working from whole to part. My boys, I already told you the principles of surveying. I'll do. Okay. Now, what is the question? Let's go to the thing. The principles of working from whole to part is used in surveying. The principles of working from whole to part is used in surveying because look here, 4 answers are there. Okay, this is one of the working from whole to part is one of the principles of surveying, that you know it. Okay. The principles of working from whole to part is used in surveying because answers are 4. A, plotting becomes easy, first answer. Second answer, surveying work can be completed quickly. Third answer, accumulation of error is prevented. And last is all of the above. Tell me boys, which is the right answer? Always I told you, I think you remember, and I don't know whether you are remembering or not. Then if you are working from the whole to part is always used in surveying, because if you do in this fashion, there will be accumulation of error is less, correct or not? Accumulation of error is prevented. Answer number C. Answer number C is the right answer. Therefore, if you use the working from whole to part is in surveying, there will be very less, or the accumulation of error is prevented, avoided. There will be always accumulation of error is prevented or avoided if you adopt the principle of working from whole to part. This is one of the principles of surveying. The two principles, one of the principles of surveying, correct or not? Coming next. So, I repeat once again question. The principles of working from whole to a part is used in surveying because third answer, C answer is a C, accumulation of error is prevented. Accumulation of error is prevented. Right answer. Okay. Coming to the next. Here actually the figure is not given, my boys. Of course, I will tell you what is the figure that. Figure shows one of the brass tallies of a 30-meter chain distance of this tally from the nearest end of the chain. Understand or not? So, now tally, actually I would have given you a tally, should have been given. Tallies, collar, all these things are there. So, it is one of the tallies in a brass tally is in a 30-meter chain. So, what is asking, what is the distance between the two tallies? Understand or not? So, these tallies are being placed along the 30-meter chain at a particular distance. What distance is that? The question is that. The tally, I cannot tell you, the tally is a small ring-shaped portion, ring-shaped with plumbing figure and all, is a tally, understand? So, now question, this one of the tallies of a 30-meter chain, distance of this tally from the nearest end of the chain is, what is that? So, nearest end, so whether it is from 5 meter, whether it is from 10 meter, or it is from 15 meter or a 20 meter. So, the nearest end, these tallies are being placed at a distance of 10 meter as the nearest end, from nearest end. So, these tallies are available at the distance of 10 meter in a 30-meter chain. The tallies are placed from the nearest end at the distance of 10 meter. 10 meter is the right answer, that is answer number B is the right answer. Okay. Next, during chaining along a straight line, the leader of the party has 4 arrows. I already told you about the instruments used in chain surveying. These arrows are also the instruments used in chain surveying. What is the question? Let us solve. During chaining along a straight line, the leader of the party has 4 arrows, okay, in his hand, while the follower has a 6 distance of the follower has 6 distance 6, where the follower has a 6 arrows. The distance of the follower from the starting point is, now look here, now there are leader is there, follower is there, understand or not? So, here the leader will be always in the forefront and the follower will be always following the leader, understand or not? Now, he is asking, during a chaining along a straight line, of course, the leader of the party has 4 arrows in hand and the follower has 6 arrows in the hand. Therefore, what would be the distance of the follower from the starting point? What would be the distance of that follower from the starting point? Then from the starting point, where the follower should be there, understand or not? Immediately from the point A, then where the follower, what is the distance of the follower from the starting point, understand or not? So now he is asking in terms of 4 chains, answer is 4. One is known as the 4 chains, 6 chains, 120 chains and 180 meters, understand or not? Okay, 4 chains, 6 chains, 120 meter or 180 meter. The distance will be a 4 chains, understand or not? Look at things. These arrows, 4 plus 6, 10 arrows are there. Therefore, the distance between the follower and the starting point in this chain surveying along the straight line is 4 chains. 4 chains, understand? He is available at the distance of from the starting point at the distance of 4 chains. The first answer A is a right answer. 4 chains is the answer. Coming to the next. A metallic tape is made up of. A metallic tape is made up of. A metallic tape is made up of. 4 answers are there, my boys. A is steel, B is inward, C is linen, and the 4th is clothes and wires. The 4th is clothes and wires. My boys, the metallic tape answer is right. The right answer is the 4th one, D, the cloth and wire. A metallic tape is made up of, I repeat, a metallic tape is made up of a cloth and the wire. A cloth and the wire, they are the 2 combination of the 2 material which are being used to prepare metallic tape. Metallic tape is made up of 2 material, that is answer number D, which is called as the cloth and wires. Cloth and wires is the right answer, the D answer is the right answer. Metallic tape is made up of cloth and wires. Come to the next. For a well conditioned triangle, no angle should be less than, look here, well conditioned triangle, equilateral triangle, whatever that, equilateral triangle or well conditioned triangle. So now equilateral triangle, again I should not tell. Equilateral triangle, angle between the 2 things will be how much? 60, 60, 60, correct or not? 60 into 3 is how much? 60 into 3 is 180, correct no? Now question is not that. He is asking particularly to confuse you, he is asking question. For a well conditioned triangle, no angle, in a particular angle, no angle should be less than, understand or not? No angle should be less than 4 degrees are there, no angle should be less than 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees. What is that? What is the right answer? The answer number B, no angle should be less than 30 degree. So, in a well conditioned angle, no angle, any angle anywhere, no angle should not be less than 30 degree, should not be less than 30 degree. That is what for an answer I am telling you to. For a well conditioned triangle, no angle should be less than 30 degree. Let us go to the next. Answer is B. Answer is B, which is a 30 degree. 30 degree is that particular angle which is not less than, it should not be, any angle should not be less than 30 degree for a well conditioned. The answer is C, 30 degree. Come to the next. Again figure is there. Again this is a field book. Again I did not give the figure of that. Here there is a, I think you have seen that already, field book. I think field book will be there. Again the main line, then all details of a building or a river or a pond or all these things are being shown. The figure I have not shown here. What is the question? In the figure, the entries in the field book for a chain line, the chain line will be always a center line, along which the different details are being plotted along in the field book. Understand or not? You have seen the field book and all. Then along the center portion will be the chain line, and then that you call the chain line as AB. What is mentioned here? What is the angle between the chain line and the railway line? My boys, chain line is there, and there is a railway line is there. So chain line is main line. AB is the main line, the chain line, and there is one railway line which you are going to plot in the field line. Understand? You are going along the things. There is one object. Object means you are going to plot the railway line. That railway line, in what angle, at what degree you are going to plot that railway line from the main line, from the line main line AB. What should be the thing? Answer are there. 26 degree, 34 minutes, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. The right answer is 45 degree. Understand or not? If you say that it is a main line, then you will exactly the railway line is here at a distance of 60 meter or 40 meter. I don't know. So then exactly the railway line is available to the main line. Railway line is exactly 45 degrees at the main line AB. So mean the railway line in the field book along the chain line AB, it is made available or shown, or it is shown in the field book at a 45 degree. At a 45 degree is a line which is 45 degree at a main line AB, where the railway line, a point is being shown. Railway line is always shown 45 degree to the main line AB in the field book, main line or chain line AB in the field book. The 45 degree, C is the right answer. C is the right answer. Coming to the next. What is the distance between trees T1? Again the figure I have not given you again here again. What is the distance between trees T1 and T2 shown in the figure? Understand? So, now I cannot tell you that because figures are not there with the things, but here the answer is 5 meter. There are two trees, which is exactly available. One tree is on the one left side of the main line, another tree is another particular line, and he is asking again what should be the offset distance, one offset distance between one tree and another offset distance between another tree. What will be the net distance? What is the distance between tree, that tree number 1 and tree number 2? In the figure it is 5 meter, because I have not shown you the trees, that is why answer I cannot explain you here, but answer is 5 meter. Okay. Next, coming back to the next one. The position of the point can be fixed more accurately. The position of the point can be fixed more accurately, correct or not? So, here the position of the point can be fixed more accurately. How you are going to fix the position of any point, understand or not? A position of any point, if the main line is there and there is one point, which can be fixed very accurately, understand or not? There are 4. One is known as the cross top, second is known as the optical square, oblique offset, and the perpendicular offset. So, you must have heard about the third. Right answer is the optical square. Optical square is that instrument which is being moved along the main line of the survey, and the particular image, the mirrors are there in this one, then exactly it is going to show you that particular position of the line very accurately. The position of the ranging rod which is being placed perpendicular to the chain line can be plotted very accurately by making use of the optical square. Optical square is the instrument which is used to fix up the position of the point very accurately. The optical square is the right answer. So, coming to the next one. Sir, stop ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? Stop ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, so I am going to talk about the second one. So, stop. The second topic I am going to teach you now. After this surveying, I am going to teach you now the transportation engineering for the junior engineers exams. Stop. Transportation